When last did you notice how your brain can turn the tiniest worry into a full-blown disaster in less than a minute? One small thought, and suddenly you're spiraling, your heart races, your palms sweat, and you can't think straight. Or let's say, you're lying there, heart racing, thoughts spinning. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I'm not enough? And suddenly, you're not in bed. You're in a courtroom, and your brain is both the judge and the defendant, guilty of not doing enough, not being enough, and you can't breathe. The disturbing part is that this anxiety conundrum continues playing in your brain on autopilot. Have you been there before? If no, count yourself lucky, because I've been there. More times than I'd like to admit, and I tried everything. Meditation apps, breathing exercises, journaling, even lavender oil. Yes, I smelled like a spa for a week. Nothing worked, until I found one question. Just one. And when I started asking it, my anxiety didn't just slow down. It stopped, dead in its tracks. Just a single sentence. And today, I'm gonna give it to you for free. Because if you've ever felt trapped in your own mind, this might be the thing that finally sets you free. Just to cure your curiosity, scientists, monks, and even top psychologists agree there's one single question that can interrupt that anxious spiral in seconds. And once you hear it, you'll never see anxiety the same way again. So what's this question? Stay with me. It's simpler than you think, but it works like magic. No pills, no 30-minute guided visualization. Anxiety is tricky. It sneaks in when you least expect it, before a big meeting, at 2 a.m. when you should be sleeping, or even during a casual conversation. And you've probably tried everything, right? Breathing exercises, journaling, maybe even therapy or medication. They help, sure. But anxiety often finds a way back. Here's the part that leaves even experts stunned. Your brain is wired for survival, not peace. Anxiety is its way of keeping you alert, scanning for threats. The problem is, in our modern world, those threats are emails, bills, or what someone might think of you, not lions chasing you. But here's the good news. Neuroscience has shown that you can retrain your brain in real time. And the fastest way is by asking yourself one powerful question. Before I give you the question, let me share something shocking. Fact number 1. Did you know the average person has over 6,000 thoughts per day? According to research from Queen's University, most of those thoughts are repetitive and many are negative. That's a recipe for anxiety on autopilot. Fact number 2. A Harvard study found that 47% of the time, people's minds are wandering. And usually, they're wandering toward worry. So basically, half your life, you're stuck in thoughts that trigger stress. But what if you could stop that spiral with just one question? The big reveal ready? Here it is. Is this real, or is this a rehearsal? Let that sink in. Is this real, or is this a rehearsal? That's it. No fluff, no spiritual jargon. Just 6 words that cut through the noise like a knife. And let me tell you, the first time I asked it, I actually laughed, because I realized something shocking. Most of what I was anxious about hadn't even happened. It wasn't real. It was a rehearsal. My brain was practicing disasters that might never come. And here's the wild part. Your brain can't tell the difference. A 2017 study from the University of California found that when you imagine a stressful event, like failing a presentation or getting rejected, your body releases the exact same stress hormones as if it were happening. Same cortisol, same adrenaline, same physical response. It doesn't say, oh, this is just a thought, no need to panic. Nope, it screams danger, and you pay the price. Heart begins to race, you start sweating profusely, and sleep vanishes. All for a story your mind made up. And that's why this question works. Because it brings you back to reality. It's like a mental reset button. Is this real, or is this a rehearsal? And when you realize, oh, this hasn't happened yet, this is just my brain practicing worst-case scenarios, you can breathe again. Because you're not in danger, you're just imagining it. And that changes everything. Now, let's go a little deeper. Because most people think anxiety is about the future. And sure, it often feels that way. But here's what the research says. A 2020 study from the Journal of Abnormal Psychology found that 85% of what people worry about never happens. 85%. That means for every 100 things you've stressed about, 85 were just noise, wasted energy, mental clutter. And what of the remaining 15? Most of them weren't as bad as you thought. So why do we keep doing it? because our brains are wired for survival. Back in the cave days, it was safer to assume the rustling in the bushes was a tiger. Even if it was just the wind, better safe than sorry. But today, that same system is firing over emails, over relationships, over what your boss might think. And it's exhausting. Thus, we need a way to interrupt it. And this question isn't positive thinking. It's not denial. It's clarity. It's saying, hey brain, I see you, but let's check the facts. Is this real, or are we just rehearsing? And when you answer honestly, the panic starts to fade. But here's where it gets even better. This question doesn't just stop anxiety. It teaches you something powerful. You are not your thoughts. Most of us believe every thought that pops into our heads. If I think it, it must be true. But that's not how the mind works. Your thoughts are like radio stations. Some are news, some are talk shows, some are pure fiction. And anxiety is the 24/7 doom channel. But you don't have to listen. You can change the station and asking, is this real or a rehearsal? This is how you grab the dial. Because the moment you question a thought, you create space. And in that space, you're no longer trapped. You're aware. And awareness is the first step to freedom. Now let's talk about what most people get wrong. They think the goal is to stop anxiety. But that's impossible and kind of dangerous. Anxiety isn't the enemy, it's a signal. Like pain. You don't want to remove pain entirely. It tells you when something's wrong. Same with anxiety. It's trying to protect you. The problem isn't the feeling, it's how we respond to it. Most people respond by ruminating, by trying to solve every imagined problem. But you can't solve a fake crisis. So instead of fighting it, try naming it. Next time you feel that wave of panic rising, pause, take one breath, and ask, is this real or is this a rehearsal? Don't rush it. Let it land. And if the answer is rehearsal, say it out loud. This is a rehearsal. Hear yourself say it, because your ears believe what your mouth says. And something shifts. You go from fused with the thought to observing it. And that's where healing begins. I'll give you an example. Last month, I got an email from a client. Subject line, we need to talk. Boom. My chest tightened. My mind raced. They're firing me. I messed up. I'm not good enough. Within seconds, I was convinced my career was over. But then, I remembered the question. I paused, breathed, and asked, is this real, or is this a rehearsal? And I realized I hadn't even read the email yet. The worst-case scenario was playing in my head like a movie, but it wasn't real. Hence, I opened it. It turns out they wanted to increase my contract, but my body had already gone through the trauma of losing it. All because I didn't pause. All because I believed the rehearsal. And that's the trap we all fall into. Our minds are so fast, we forget to check the facts. Now, here's the ancient wisdom part. Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, used to say, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Which sounds harsh, but it's actually freeing, because it means you don't have to control the world, you just have to manage your response to it. And that's where this question shines. It's not about fixing everything. It's about grounding yourself in the now. Because the only moment that's real is this one. The rest is either memory or imagination. Anxiety lives and thrives in the imagination. So bring yourself back. Ask the question. And if it's a rehearsal, let it go. You don't have to practice suffering. You really don't. But I know what some of you might be thinking. What if it is real? What if something bad is happening? Fair. And here's the beauty of this question. It works even then. Because if it's real, you'll know. And when you know, you can act. But if it's not real, you can rest. Most people don't permit themselves to rest. They stay in fight or flight mode 24/7. But you don't have to. You can choose. And that choice is power. Let me share one more study. A 2021 neuroscience paper from MIT found that simply labeling an emotion, like saying I'm anxious, reduces activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, by up to 50%, just naming it. So when you ask, is this real or a rehearsal? And you answer, this is rehearsal. You're not just thinking, you're rewiring your brain. You're saying, this is not a threat, I am safe. And your nervous system hears that, it calms down, it lets go, and you can finally breathe. Now, here's the rebellious part. We've been taught to fight anxiety, to push it away, to suppress it, to stay positive. But that just makes it stronger, because what you resist persists. Instead of fighting, try curiosity. Next time anxiety hits, don't panic. Just ask, is this real or is this a rehearsal? No judgment, No urgency, just an inquiry. And watch what happens. You might be surprised how fast the storm passes. I'll be honest, I used to hate my anxious thoughts. I thought they meant I was broken. But now, I see them differently. They're not flaws, they're feedback. A sign I care. That I want to protect what matters. But I don't have to let them run the show for me. And neither do you. You're not broken, you're awake, and with one simple question, you can come back to peace. At any time, anywhere. No app, no guru, no 10-step program, just 6 words, and the courage to ask them. Well, here's my challenge to you. For the next 3 days, every time you feel anxiety rising, pause. Take one breath, and ask, is this real, or is this a rehearsal? Write it down, say it out loud, text it to yourself, and see what happens. You might find that most of your stress was just a story. And once you see the story for what it is, you can close the book. And finally, rest. If this helped you, even a little, hit the like button, subscribe, and become a part of this channel, and share it with someone tired of feeling trapped in their mind. Because they don't need more advice, they need one question that works. And now they have it. Until next time, remember, not every thought deserves a home.